Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery putting together another quick video on a number of different knives we've been working on lately. We've got the mix of Spyderco and zero tolerance here. Of course we've got the Spyderco Mamba, some of the 0095Bws, the 562 ties, a 456, some of the 460 ties, 450s, standard 460. We even have a 452Wbw. So we've got quite the mix here. We'll go ahead and go through them one at a time just to give you guys a feel for what we've got in stock and what we've been working on. Go ahead and move some of these out of the way so we don't have too much going on in frame at one time. Okay, so it looks like we've got 562 here. This one has got a nice purple blue faded into green, and then we did a real nice bronze stone wash on it. And of course you've got both sides, sorry. So that nice bronze stone wash gives it a little bit more of a roughed up feel. Won't show the scratches and that type of thing as you use it quite as much. So that's always a nice deal. Centered up pretty nicely. And they're definitely good, smooth flippers. As always, the 562s flip very nicely. This is 659 serial number with a 20 CV. Very sharp looking knife with a nice early lockup. So this is one for a little tiny bit more muted than the super bright. That bronze stone wash always does the deal. Go ahead and jump into, sorry I didn't wipe some of these down. Trick with titanium anodized knives. A little bit of Windex, soft towel, wipe them off, and you get your color right back to where it was. This one is not a heavy fingerprinter. It's a nice, nice gold. As you can see, it doesn't really fingerprint up barely at all, but you can see some spots where the oil is. I've got some oil on it from putting it back together. So the oil kind of goldens it up even more, kind of a rose goldy. But very nice yellow gold color. Really happy with the overall appearance of this one. So again, looking at your tip down in here, you are right in the center, so that's looking good. And these guys just fly open. The 562s have always been a good solid knife with that hinder or slicer design. It is one sharp knife. So very cool looking. You can see the moisture from my hand just evaporating right off of it. So very good looking knife. A little warm in here tonight. So that gold one turned out pretty sharp as well. Let's see, I'm pretty sure we got another one over here. This one we got a cool green background with kind of a blue-purple drizzle. Changes a little bit in the light as you move it around. Definitely a pretty cool look on that one. Got some splatter and some droplets to just give it a little extra oomph. Definitely turned out very nice as well. Flips right on out. Nice lockup. And again, centered in pretty darn well. Just an overall pretty cool looking knife. As I get the moisture from my hands on them. But as you can see, wipes off nicely. Hit it with a little Windex and a soft cloth, and you're right back to the total bright color that you were in before. This one turned out pretty interesting. This is a high voltage blue on the 0095BW. I really like those blackwash blades. They hide the wear and tear really nicely. I carried a 561 for probably 2 years, and that thing really never showed the abuse that I put it through. ZT's blackwash is really good stuff, so very happy with that on the blades. Of course, not quite as excited about it on the handle, so we do some anodizing. This one still has about probably 75 to 80% of the blackwash still on it. And then you've got the blue anodizing coming out from underneath. Just a pretty cool effect. You get that darkness with the cool color. Now this one, you can see right through here, some of that blackwash got a bronzy tint to it. So it's a little bit different looking. It's mainly in this area, just a little bit of a bronzy tint. So that was a little different effect, but a very sharp looking knife. These are good if you want one that's going to hide the abuse. It's a good design. Lockup is pretty good there, nice and early, and centering looks pretty good too. So definitely flips out very nice. Does have kind of a purpley hue to it at times. Just depends on the light. This light here really isn't showing it on the camera, so there is a tiny bit of a purple hue to it as well. Let's go ahead and hit the green BW. This is pretty sharp looking as well. So this process takes longer than standard anodizing because this blackwash really works havoc with the electricity. But you get this cool effect that you can wipe off part of the blackwash and the color is underneath. So you don't have to worry about wearing through the blackwash and it being silver. The color is actually underneath the blackwash on these. So very neat look, neat appearance. Again, centered up pretty nicely. Flips out good. And your lockup is probably about 40% on that one. So 40-45%. But overall, just a cool looking knife. That is one of Zero Tolerance's own in-house designs. Does not have a designer listed on the blade. They don't do that all that often. Usually they're pairing up with a lot of the big names, Sinkovich, Les George, and Hinderer, Emerson, all those different guys. So this is a pretty nice one. It is a pretty slim knife for the size that you're getting. So can't go wrong with the 0095BW. Let's go ahead. This is a crazy high voltage purple with a little bit of shading in it on a 460 with your standard carbon fiber and your black backspacer. And these guys flip very nicely. Got that nice upswept blade. Very cool looking little knife. A little bit smaller. This is the smaller version, the one that came out first. And then you have the 462, which is the bigger version. This is a good knife. Flips pretty easily, that type of thing. One thing you need to make sure of, when you go to hold it to flip it, don't put any pressure on that lock bar. Because if you put pressure on that lock bar with that finger, it ain't going anywhere. but tuck that finger up just a little bit and you are good to go. That flips like lightning. So very cool looking purple ano on that one. And that one's centered up pretty nicely. Nice wide blade for that little bit of a crevice there. So cool looking little knife. Let's go ahead and jump into some of these brand new full titanium versions. I was very happy that they did this, just because then we get the color all the way around. So we did a double fade on this, high voltage blue, green on both ends, got a little bit of oil popping out here, no big deal, but really turned out nice. I like that double fade sometimes, just gives it a whole different effect. Cool looking little knife. Flips out beautifully. Lockup is nice and early on that one. Centering looks pretty good on it too. So that is the blue with the green double fade. Let's go ahead, hit another double fade. We've got a purple with a high voltage blue double fade. So kind of got the purple in the center and faded her on out. Does have that little bit of a stonewash presence to it, so you get a little bit of flicker of light as you move that around. I really like that they did the extra milling here. Definitely gives it a whole nother level of look and feel. Flips out like lightning. Nice early lockup. This one's probably about 20-30%. And we are centered pretty nicely as well. So that's another one of your double fades. Let's go ahead and get into the green with the bronze drizzle, kind of a camo-y effect. Definitely like the way these turn out. I like this green bronze combo. It does kind of feel a little bit like camouflage as you play with them sometimes. This one's centered up pretty nicely as well. All black hardware. I've got a couple that I'm going to be taking all the black coating off of. So you'll have the bright silver and a satin finish pocket clip. But this color pattern definitely lends itself to the darker hardware. Lockup is nice on that one as well. Just overall, pretty cool looking knife. I've always liked the look of that blade. Fits nicely in the hand. That last little cut up grabs your pinky pretty nicely, and it really does fit pretty well. Let's see, we've got one more here. So this one we went all out. We've got a purple, blue, a green, blue, purple, gold fade, and then we came back and did a blue, purple, rose, and gold faded drizzle coming back at it. So this one packs an awful lot of color in it. Very cool looking knife. If you're looking for a stunner that packs a lot of punch with the overall color, this one definitely will do it for you. It's an eye catcher. You take that one out of your pocket and show it to somebody and they're like, whoa, look at the color on that thing. We're probably about 50% lockup on that one. Centering looks pretty good again. And flips like a dream. Just a cool effect. Some people aren't into all that much color, but you know what? Some people like it. I like it. So we'll keep doing them. Cool looking little guy. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's go ahead and jump into some of the 450s. So this one is kind of a teal green, teal blue, teal green. That we went with a silver drizzle, a gold drizzle, and a purple drizzle. That one's done up pretty nicely. A couple different layers of color in it. Centered up pretty nicely, and we've got the red back spacer. And of course, anytime I can, there's going to be a lanyard on a knife. If you don't like it, go ahead and cut it off. But I like them for helping pull them out of my pocket. 450 is definitely one of my favorites. I've sold the heck out of these. This is a good knife if you want a good size, not a huge knife, but a decent size knife in your pocket where you can lose track of it. There's not much print. Nice narrow knife. Fits in the hand nicely. Still big enough to do some work with. I definitely like the feel of the 450. So I'm very happy that they didn't discontinue this one. They've discontinued so many here lately that I get a little worried sometimes that they'll get rid of some of these really nice ones. So this one is a green with a blue stonewash. So it's anodized green and then has a blue stonewash. So your edges get that blue. Unfortunately, this light just is not showing it very well. But it gives you a little bit more of a roughed up look. And again, just fires open. Things fly open. Lockup's pretty good there. The centering is real nice. So that gives you a little better idea what that stone wash looks like. Actually, I take that back. The more I look at it, this is just a green with a straight stone wash. I've done so many knives lately. It looked like it had a blue going in there, but it's just the way the cutout took the anodizing. This is a green with just a straight stone wash. You can see that silver flicker in there. So it is a green with the silver standard stone wash, not the blue stone wash. And then this one got kind of crazy as I did it. I really liked this one. This one's got kind of a blue purple background, and then we did kind of a splash of a brighter tealy blue through it. So you've got this kind of vein of color running through it, giving you just a total different look. Nice splotch of color. Looks really good. Definitely a sharp looking knife. Centered up nicely again. And this one has a good, nice early lockup on it. These guys just flip like a king. For a knife that's thin and not huge, not a real heavy blade, they just always fly out there. I've sold so many of this model. This is definitely one of my wife's favorites. She's got a green with a blue stone wash, so she carries that one every day. And a lot of people are very happy with this Sinkovich design. So that one is definitely a little bit more unique looking. Jump in here for one of the bigger Sinkovich designs. You have a green background to match that blue pocket clip and back spacer, as well as the pivot on that side. Very sharp looking. It's a good color combo. That green blue always looks nice. Definitely one that does well. A little bit of oil around that pivot, but coloring looks real good there. Centering is pretty good from the looks of it. Of course, you've got another lanyard on this one. You're about 30 to 40% lockup on it. Definitely good quality knife. A little bit heavier. They didn't do any milling on the inside of this one, so you've got two serious slabs of titanium there. So when I say milling, sometimes they'll get in here and they'll mill out the inside of that titanium to drop some of the weight they haven't done that on this model. I've got a couple different versions of this one out there. I did see a Sprint run that had the carbon fiber. Wish I could have gotten a hold of those, but that didn't happen. So this is your standard titanium on both sides. Now we get into one of those Sprint runs. This is the 452 WBW. It's got that white and black carbon fiber, black wash handle that we hit with a high voltage blue. Just an awesome knife. And I was telling you about that black wash that ZT does. This is a 452 WBW, and look at that serial number, number 8. Now this one, not real sure that this one's going to end up going up for sale. I am a real fan of the 452, and ever since I got this one in, I've been going back and forth on how much do I need to make another sale, or do I really want to own one totally cool knife. And this one with a Sprint run is definitely a cool knife. I love the way the 452 fits in the hand. Nice, comfortable, good size blade. I'm into a bigger knife. I like them big. So I like a long blade on a knife, something that totally fills up my hand and then some. Man, that band-aid needs to be trimmed. But very cool looking. I like that carbon fiber. She's centered up pretty nicely. And the lock up is pretty good there as well. So that is the 452 WBW. Like I said, not sure if that one's going to hit the website or not. Keep going back and forth. Here is one of my older favorites. They did a limited run of the Spyderco Mamba. Got some nice thick titanium liners. We went green to blue to purple. Up here, this color is getting washed out a little bit with that light, but really a nice fade to it. Gives it that extra punch of color. Man, the carbon fiber on these handles is just fantastic. So smooth, no voids, polished up nicely. I really like the carbon fiber in these. This is probably my favorite of all of the Spyderco line. I do like that they did the cutout, the holes through. Give you a little something extra to look at. And you've got that two-tone blade, the black with that satin finish on the flat. Of course your Spidey. And then the Perella name on it as well, because this is modeled after his full custom version. And it is just one wild knife. I love the way this one fits in the hand. Nice and comfortable. It's a big knife as far as width and all, but all of those nice cutouts where they've kind of ground it down and tapered it really make it feel good in the hand. So, good feeling knife. This is one that you can open with your thumb with the Spidey hole. See if I can get her with my finger. Yep, you can get the finger flip. And then, of course, you are a real flipper. So very happy with the way that one turned out as well. These have been discontinued. You're not going to see many of these out there these days. There just aren't many for sale in the marketplace. So I would grab that while you can. I was unhappy to see that one go discontinued as quickly as it did. It was a really cool design, like I said, one of my favorites for Spyderco. Well, all of these are available at www.jdcutlery.com. So definitely come on over, check us out, see what we've got. We do have these and many, many more. I've got quite the lineup of zero tolerance knives anodized right now. I've got a good selection of Hobeck knives anodized up nicely. Of course, all your Riots, your Loin Mas. We've just got a little bit of everything going on right now. And we just started carrying some of the custom knife factories. We've got 2 more of those coming in tomorrow, so you'll have some additional pretty sweet looking custom knife factories done up with some custom anodizing here soon as well. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.